Yeah, she's accused of her mother's death, accused of her sister's death. Oh, no. I think I know what's going on. I think I know exactly what happened. Yeah, I think, I think I know what's going on. I think I know who did it. I think I know. Hold on a second, I'm gonna write, just in case it's... Wait, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know anymore. So who's the real killer? Ah, I think I know, but I don't know. Everyone dead. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests. On the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. I totally forgot about it. And that's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or...? Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well. Please bring in the last witness. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Karain channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fey clan... I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya. The pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple. And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Donham's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see any... Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But I... Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. Being framed! On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" And something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Huh. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to screen it. You're calling is using a screening service from Google. We'll get a copy. No. Yep, it was a spam call. If it was important, they would have left a proper message. Damn it! I think they got on the way to spare Prepper when it happened. Oh, wait, no. Press everything. We gotta press everything first time through. Who else was on the inner temple side that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. The day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later, like she said? Well, let me think. She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Something struck me over the head. Who did it? Who hit you? Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind. You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. Maya's really having a hard time. What should I do? You always have to press harder. Always. Every time. Every time as I save my game. Not being 100% sure. Come on, Maya. This isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person? Well, let me think. It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was dark, that's it. It was dark? It's not good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training.
Come to think of it, there was earlier testimony to that effect as well. So it was dark in the garden on the night of the crime.
That's why she didn't see her attacker.
Maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely
the spirit that was channeled by Elise Dono, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Very well. Please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head?
I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape, I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. Oh, shoot. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at that time.
Well now, this is beginning to get interesting.
So what were the two things rolling around in your mind? My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was.
That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable, given the circumstances. So, what did you do then?
I screamed, "Help me!" You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits.
Believe me, my dear. I'm certain I would have soiled my robes.
This person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope. Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? Yes! Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said that? Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me!" Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know, that's like, what do you call it when that happens? Mine's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming at to for help. Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh?
Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person?
I am... Well, I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done?
Huh.
It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure? You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up to try to hide things in this chamber.
Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony.
By the light of the stone lantern.
No!
A man? Who is this man? Well, you see...
Yes, it's the police mascot!
I couldn't see.
You couldn't see?
She used this excuse twice now. Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright.
Lantern light, did you say?
There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say? Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I can see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer.
Yeah, I know, yeah, I know. I know, but the police, I mean, it couldn't have been the Badgers. Like, come on. That would have been ridiculous.
Plus, there weren't any light sources in the garden at the time. Or splashed over me.
A lot of heart!
You don't mean... Was it... I didn't know it at the time, but... I think it was probably blood. She's saying that's when Miss Donim, who is channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer? At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me. That's when I lost consciousness. I need to check something real quick. No, wrong corner. I need... No, I don't have a photo of what I was hoping to have a photo of. Okay. So what happened next? I don't remember. How were you saved? You don't even remember that.
Homer was the killer?
No. I haven't gotten any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad. I've side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. It was not lit, yeah. It was not lit, so that's pretty easy. So there was a man standing behind your attacker. Yeah. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Donim, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? You know who killed your mother, don't you?
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No!
Got everyone committing perjury, assisting murders. Got everyone going to jail. Order of the court. Mr. Godo, explain this.
Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au latte.
Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? Only the murderers go to jail.
Mr. Trite's words are the milk and you are the spoon. Your Honor.
I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know.
You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick? May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. And she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No!
Video game almost over, Army. Order! What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under the pitch black conditions?
Trite, you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There's no other light source at the scene. There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him.
Cover? For the man that killed her mother?
There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Huh. You talk a good game, Trite. But let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't! Please, stop! Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth.
All right, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was the person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness?
Do I know who it is? I didn't say shit. Larry was the only other guy there. But then he also... Then there was Phoenix. But he's not an option. It was the attorney's badge this whole time! Who was, who else? Yeah, Larry doesn't glow in the dark. It's all those drugs he takes! The Badger, of course! God damn it. I kind of feel it's Godot. Because he's the only one of this whole group that glows in the dark. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes?
What? But how do you propose to show us something like that?
It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night.
Conditions? Larry does not touch that devil's weed. The witness is clearly on meth.
Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off.
What? This is... But it can't be!
Huh. That was a nice bit of deduction. Trite. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder.
Your Dead Space cosplay really does glow in the dark. Order, order, order! Prosecutor Godo, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it?
It's the future past. Huh. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night?
Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong! I never saw that! Maya? I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason. What?
Witness, Mr. Wright, what the...
Stop your chattering, Your Honor.
Chattering?
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
All right. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... You were just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit and the body was gone. And all the snow around the stone lantern had been cleaned up carefully. Had been carefully cleaned up, too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor,
No need to apologize. As Mr. Godo said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man.
I missed that zipper face!
Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
I was just lying there. Okay, we're gonna go through, but So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right? I'm not even looking at chat right now. Yes, I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So the person that carried you into the inner temple
could only have been the killer.
That time to go wild! That's what I think too. So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit and the body was gone. Whoops. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? You become friends? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. I don't know. It looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again. Fuck this chat room! Yeah, like, wow, nobody's going wild, only Kia. Oh, sorry. The body was gone. The torches were lit. Yes, that's how I noticed the whole scene had changed. I'm gonna say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be?
The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who could gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya.
Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
So, I've been carefully cleaned up too. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? it did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern. There's a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow anyway? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victims' blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. The area collapsed and ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. The killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it. There's no need to remove that amount. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. Who said there are some mysteries behind this issue? But I think this will help explain them. I got grass to touch. I don't need those. Oh, so you're saying you're maidenless. So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right? Yes. But earlier you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker. And without paper. Nick, I'm sorry. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why did all that happen? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Okay, so I gotta figure out what to press at this point. Okay, so... I'm saving real quick. Okay, so... I need to figure out where to present my damning evidence. The lantern. It wasn't lit, yeah, whatever. But remember when Godo had a big freak out about the fact that there was blood on the thing? Whoever... Let's press an even number statement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, it's either this one or... I'm going for it. Because Godo couldn't see the red on the fucking lantern. God damn it, I fucked up. Well, I pressed it. I already pressed that one. I already pressed it. Cleaned up the snow. It did really look really, yeah. Shelter in the inner temple. Heavy for me to use. Oh, dear, this killer. Who knows when anyone takes snow away? This one. Only one thing I can think of. You see, there's a lot of victims' blood sprayed. Yeah, yeah. Purpose is to hide the bloody snow. This is the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. Yeah, we already went through all this. They took too much snow. This will help explain them. And then she just says... Well, we already pressed this one, too. So you're saying you never saw the killer. I'm sorry. I don't... Yeah. So I need profiles, don't I? How do I get her to question it? Yeah, they did it to remove the blood. But I don't know what to put to have her question it. I already did. I think I must have done that, right? Yes, I think so. Killer tampered with the crime scene like that. There must have been something the killer desperately wanted to hide. Wait, what? I pressed this one! God, this game... Ah! We've gone this whole case of having to press things twice, and this one I have to press it again. Where did it tell me that? It didn't! Ah! Well, that's not what I got from what it said. I felt something. You did? Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence from me. For my sake. What? Hiding it for you? But everyone knew that I was the only one. Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it. Did it seriously? God damn it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened. Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. They did it for your sake. Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right? Yes, I suppose that's true. Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems, too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of Cream killed my own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason there to go through that much trouble to protect you? Now I don't! Do I press this again? I am! I know it has to do with the frickin' letters on the fucking lantern. I just don't know where to put it. Literally, I don't know where to put the evidence. All the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. That's what that says. I think it's for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what happened. All the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Yeah, because they can't tell what the red looks like. They can't tell what blood looks like, so they cleaned it all up. I think it's for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. I put the lantern here? I already pressed this one. Okay, the lantern has the red on it, and Godo already had a freak out about how he couldn't read the letters on the lantern. He said it was a perfectly clear lantern because he can't see red. I can't see red. This is also red.
Were they looking for this? This is why I hate this game. I can't wait till it's over. Like, when I came to, I was just lying on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. I think it's for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence to what happened. George's body was gone. I did that! It told me I was wrong! Remember? It told me I was wrong. I was getting deducted for that. Oh, the working line just assumed it was a man. So the new statement changes that? God! I'm saving. I swear to God, this game. See, it's not right! Oh my God. Here we go. I had the right evidence, just at the wrong spot. And I hate when it asks you to press again because it never feels intuitive at all. It doesn't say... I did not read it that way at all. I did not get that from that, to press the stuff at all. Because it's a mechanic this game uses so rarely. That doesn't, to me, that doesn't mean press it again. Literally, that does not mean to press it. They should have said press it again. Yeah, sometimes. Body of Elise Dillman was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. See, I had the right evidence, I just didn't have the right spot, and I didn't know how to get there. That's frustrating. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. But I didn't have any more new information. It was just the same stuff. That's just it. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godo. It's the message written in the blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. When it tells me to repress stuff, that's what always throws me off in this game. Every single time it is told you to repress stuff, that fucks me up. You guys know, for this entire playthrough, it's happened maybe 3 times, like maybe 1 per game, and it always fucks me up because I had the right evidence at the wrong point. Maya. Let's see, fuck you. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why did they wipe the writing off the lantern? You're right. Army. Order. But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed. But it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow, and not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
Objection.
But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all this snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's the fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion.
Why did the killer leave the message written on the blood on the lantern? The killer didn't notice it. See, I can get this stuff, I just... My logic takes such grand leaps in this game, I swear. Prosecutor Godo, earlier in this trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There is no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who's the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? His bikini all along. Mr. Godo, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godo? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern? There's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood! Nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle. See, I hate these moments because I know I'm smart, but then these games make me feel so fucking dumb. Mr. Godo, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? Show the class, Hawk.
I needed an online store for my
Think, Phoenix, think. Could the contradiction with Tina's memories mean? The blood was wiped off the handle! Uh-oh. I got the treatment. I shouldn't have to explain the implications of your own argument to you, right? But all your claim suggests is that Miss Sykes was wiped the blood off herself after the fact. I knew that. I know that bluffing your way through things is your calling card. But your credibility phoned just now and told me to tell you to put a sock in it. Yes, Daddy. Oh no! What? 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 Oh no! Back to the game. That's right, we went through this once before. During the poisoning case at Trebienne. See what this bird was wearing at the time. And someone spilled coffee on. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godo. Why have you not explained the bloodstain on the to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You're gonna go study in law school, Harmy. God. Daddy in burnt courtroom. You can see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. Huh. It's strange. In the black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Godo, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godo is the murderer.
But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godo, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Donim, also known as Misty Faye.
It's hard to believe that this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you.
Huh.
NANI?
Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does the little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. My name is written there. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, Trite. The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow.
In the snow? How so?
Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take that area? Take out just that area.
Yes, why didn't he just take just that area? Ah, could it be?
Kia! Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Objection!
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine.
It seems. Once again, this trial's taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godo?
Wait! Wait just a minute! Maya?
What is it, witness?
Mr. Godo? Isn't the killer? After all, he didn't even come to the Inner Temple. Until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Maya. You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I'm gonna look it, but I'm... Eek! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow.
Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya, do you plan to cover for Godo no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Huh. Nicely done, Trite.
Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the Inner Temple after the murder. Now, I need to, go over everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, it began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearlie was there at the Inner Temple, too. After the incident. Pearlie was also stuck at the Inner Temple side that night. Next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. Next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. As soon as Mr. Godo arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time, he found Pearlie first and cheered her right up.
Who's this Pearlie?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on! Pearlie would never tell a lie. She's way more honest person than I'll ever be. Oh, way more honest. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Huh. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness.
Mr. Godo!
Let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but... Well, Mr. Wright?
The biggest forehead forever! Let's get this cross-examination started. Oh my god. Look at everything, do it twice if I have to, fuck. So where do you think Pearl slept that night? In the spare prep room next to the training hall. I guess. Quicks, hey Quicks, when did you get here? Hello, hello, welcome. Sorry, I didn't notice you. Oh my god, not OT denies, but hey again. You're playing the end of the game, so if you haven't seen it, like this is the end of the third game, so this is where everything comes together, so spoilers abound. Hello, welcome. Welcome to anybody else I didn't say hello to. Hey Falcon. So Roy came to the training hall during an acolyte's training. But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place? It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya. No, fuck. Oh god. She knew the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense. Pearls is supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Donim. Kia! This morning, she looked around and couldn't find anyone. She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end. Well, you see, Pearlie gets pretty scared when she's alone, and there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times. The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and a spare prep room. Final boss for it. So it's a storage shack, I think. That's about it. There was a storage shack too. Rose was looking for other people, right? Oh my god, is this a picture of Pearls in other games? Oh god, she does not. Oh, that poor unfortunate girl. How old is she there? Well, like 13, 14? When did the other games take place? 7, holy god, that's 9 years. Jesus. She's just tiny forever. I might, though. I actually might. I want to play the Edgeworth games. I actually really want to play the Edgeworth games, because those feel less this and more investigative. We'll examine a storage shack all that carefully. Well, if it was me, that'd be the first place I would investigate. So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack. See, when the bridge is finally fixed, she went in with the spare prep room. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge. What do you mean? I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. Marion. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge. And that's only that's a single one-off game, right? The one that's on Steam. Oh, well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night. But it's 2 games in one sort of thing, is what I mean. But okay. She couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times. Poor little girl. All alone like that. Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the Sacred Cavern. Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the Trick Log. Oh, British people. She couldn't let anyone see her. So she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? Oh, first time. So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godo? That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question? Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. Touché, Mr. Wright. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Godo? Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains. I think I'll pass. So he never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh? Ha! You want to say something, Trite? In any case, I have to find a crack in Godo's armor. Well, cross-examine Maya, that is. Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, please make over to the Inner Temple side, right? Yes, then Mr. Godo... I Pearlie first and cheered her right up. He cheered her up? This is true. That's what Pearlie said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godo.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict.
Huh. Cut it out. You're making me blush. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves, in more ways than one. The truth is there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with the fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style.
I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts of my own way, judge style.
Maybe I should ask some questions. Phoenix style. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Wright. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Western tastes? Could you find a stranger way to describe gravy?
So over there you headed toward the prep room?
Wait a second. What did Godo just say just now? I think it's on his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godo when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Donim. What was I saying? The inner temple side that night. I need to read that again. What did he say?
Judge style.
Hawk style? Did you find anything? Just tried. Oh, didn't see it. Missed it. Okay. The only thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Okay. Beauty. Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. How did he know that it was a thing of... Yeah, so if we look at the actual picture of how it is now... How did he know that was Misty Faye? Only how do I present it? Because he's saying she's covering gravy, but how did he know it was Misty Faye under the gravy? I know! So, wait. For the first time, okay, here we go. Wonder which statement. But I'm starting to feel smart again. Yes! Oh, whenever it's silent, I know I'm right. Mr. Godo, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and when it went into the inner temple was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall.
Hanging scroll?
But Mr. Godo is right. The scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this.
What's that wonderfully delicious smell?
The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godo, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any idea of knowing it was Misty Faye. Shut up! But wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark,
then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there.
True, but Mr. Godo described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew that what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godo, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Wright? What is it? This whole theory of yours. It all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right! Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak out into the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Godo knew about the plan. Huh?
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan?
Oh, Jesus. So she got the warning to him somehow, right?
Mr. Wright, at this stage of the game,
Fuck, I gotta say, because...
This is espresso.
It wasn't a guess, though. She was the only other person to know. So in the end, you were just bluffing, huh? Let's expect any sympathy cards from me, Wright. There's only one other way. There's only one way he could have known about the crime.
Right, I'll give you just one more chance. Of course, this is a plan.
So the only ones who knew about it were Mia, Pearls, okay, Dahlia, and Morgan. It's evidence?
It's not a profile. Oh my god.
Where there's the letters from Oregon opened once before.